Application MATLAB for seismic data visualization and analysis. This video will present about the development of seismic data visualization and analysis application using MATLAB. Petroleum exploration involves searching activity for new gas and oil fields, and then directing the drilling of wells to exploit the field. This exploration occupies $1 million, so there will result huge losses if any misconception. Seismic exploration is a method that involves computer processing of digital seismic data in 2D or 3D to determine the structure of the subsurface rock for predicting new oil field. Society Exploration Geophysicists (SETI) is a file format that digitally records the 3D seismic data.
Seismic data visualization. Why do we need to use MATLAB to interpret seismic data? So what is the problem statement, you may ask? Seismic data in SETI file are raw and unprocessed facts. Thus, the data needs to be converted into usable information. So, what are the objectives? The objectives are to develop a functional visualization and analysis application for seismic data in SETI file. To ensure application can successfully perform the task of loading, reading, visualizing, and analyzing the seismic data. Last, to implement basic seismic data analysis method inside MATLAB.
Seismic methods involve calculating the propagation of seismic waves through earth materials. In seismic surveys, seismic waves radiate outward from a sound source at the surface, which can be an explosive charge or a mechanical impact. In this case, we are going to explore how geophysicists are getting seismic data. Seismic data acquisition is a process of generating and recording. Its main objective is producing cross-sections through the subsurface that can be interpreted in geologically meaningful ways. The methods are particularly widely used in the oil and gas industries. This process involves source and receivers. Inland, vibrative structures are being used, while the receiver will be a vehicle with geophones on it. While in water, it will involve a survey ship and the receiver will be hydrophones. This picture indicates how a seismic method is being conducted. The sound from source will undergo reflection and refraction process before the sound is retrieved by the receiver. Next one, we are going to discover about SETI file structure. These files are being used for recording seismic data. This file format is developed by Society Exploration Geophysicists, or also known as SEG. The files are also not commonly processed beforehand. It means that their data from seismic method will be raw and can be processed using MATLAB. This SETI file structure can be visualized in either 2D or 3D format. The MATLAB will convert the data that we input and will be used for further investigations. This is an example of 2D seismic data after being processed, while this is an example of a 3D seismic data after being processed too.
Interpretation and methodology seismic data. Interpretation and methodology seismic data. In this section, we are going to look through on how to read the seismic data by using MATLAB and what are the procedures taken to process the seismic data. Interpretation of SETI file by using MATLAB. There are several useful techniques or methods to read.
the SETI file through MATLAB. One of the methods is to use available MATLAB function or M file to read the SETI data. There is a section in the MATLAB software library can be used to read the SETI file. That section was developed by the Queries. The Queries MATLAB is where the large collection of geophysical routine used in teaching exploration seismology. Here is an example of Queries MATLAB library. You can see there is a section to read SETI file. The MATLAB function will read the SETI data by outputting the main data of interest. The main data of interest are divided into three: the time interval seismic wave, the 2D metric form, and the data ray stroking. Now I'll be explaining the methodology process. The next step is to process the seismic data. To process it, it involves four main components of application. The four main components of application are loading, reading, visualizing, and analyzing. The first application is loading. Loading is to retrieve the SETI file and to load it into MATLAB. Next is reading, to read the seismic data of interest from the SETI file. Then visualizing, that is to plot and visualize the seismic data. The last application from the four is analyzing. This application involves analyzing and converting the seismic data.
In conclusion, the MATLAB application can successfully load, read, visualize, and analyze data in ZARIFAH file, as it managed to develop the application into seismic exploration. As overall, it is useful to learn about general interpretation of seismic. So, that was the application of MATLAB in real life for seismic interpretation. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.